going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another MLB 23 The Show Diamond Dynasty video. In today's video, we're going to be giving you a tutorial on flipping cards. This is the #1 way to make stubs in Diamond Dynasty, and if you're a beginner to the game, you're going to want to pay attention. Now, if you guys enjoy this video, if you like it, if it helps you out, make sure you go ahead and click that thumbs up button. Shows a lot of support on the channel, helps the videos get noticed. Also, if you're brand new here, you were searching on YouTube for Diamond Dynasty content, whether it's how to make stubs, how to get free players, how to build your Diamond Dynasty squad, you found the right channel for everything. Stay a while, click that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on as well so you guys are alerted when we drop additional videos. Let's get right on into it. So this is the first year that I'm going no money spent in Diamond Dynasty, and it's entirely possible. There's so much free content that you can earn. You don't have to spend money in the game, but you're also going to want stubs, and you can't really make a ton of stubs in this game. You can earn a lot of free cards, but you're gonna have to flip cards to make stubs, and if you want to get stubs to spend on, you know, the non-free items that come out, that's what you're gonna need them for. So we're gonna go ahead and give you a tutorial on what I do. There's a couple different methods and things to look for, and we have a website that's gonna help you with this as well. The main thing that, you know, I like to do personally, and everybody might have their own kind of forte on how they handle this, but if we go over to the marketplace, I personally like to flip lower overall cards because they sell more frequently. Like, you can go out there and try to flip diamond cards and even gold cards, and golds aren't very expensive this year because there's so many free diamonds and they're so easy to get. Historically, in previous years, gold cards were like 5,000-6,000 stubs this early on, then eventually would settle down. So you can shoot for the big fish per se, right? If you want to go out and try to look for a diamond that's very profitable upon flipping, and you always have to factor in the 10% tax on any transaction here that takes place on the marketplace, you certainly can. But because they don't sell as frequently as like a silver or a common or a bronze card does, I tend to stay away from those. So when I'm in my marketplace here, I usually go team by team. So we'll hit our filter button, that's square on PlayStation, going to be X on Xbox, go down to filter, and I'll usually go from team to team, and I'll maybe stay within one division. Like, I'll work on the AL East today, and then the AL West tomorrow, and the NL East the day after that. Again, you're all going to have your own preference on what you do, but I'm just going to randomly pick a team here and see if we can maybe find some profit. I'll go with the Chicago Cubs, okay? So we're looking for, and this is, again, personally what I do, but we're looking for like 100 stub gap between the column on the left, which is the buy now column, and then the column on the right, which is the sell now. Now, we always have to factor in that 10% tax, but if we can find about 100 stub difference, that usually means that we can make about 100 stubs per flip. And in my opinion, where packs are so inexpensive and cards aren't really overpriced either, if you kind of compare like the Madden Ultimate Team market to the MLB market, cards are way underpriced. So when you're making 100 stubs per flip, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's happening so frequently, it adds up, and it adds up quick. We were able to get over 100,000 coins, or sorry, 100,000 stubs already without spending money and really only grinding through one program, and the majority came from flipping cards and making stubs off of them. So Edwin Rios is a pretty good example, right? 331 is his buy now, 179 is his sell now. And if you're unfamiliar with how to buy and sell cards in this game, that's the #1 video you need to go watch. We will link that one down below in the comment section as a pinned comment. It's going to give you a better understanding of what we're doing, but I'll put in a bunch of orders at a time, and I usually go slightly above the, you know, the highest offer as far as buying goes, and then slightly below the lowest offer when it goes to selling. So we'll put in a bunch of buy orders on this Edwin Rios, and because the highest price one right now is about 180 stubs, I'll go like 183 or 184. Sometimes I pick whatever's easier to type in faster, and it looks like somebody just kind of beat us to the punch and did one for 185, so we're gonna one-up that person and go 186. And I'll usually put in, like, say 4 to 5, anywhere between 4 and 5, all the way up to 10 offers for a player, a specific player that I think is worth flipping. So we have about 5 orders in on Edwin Rios. One of them already was sold to us, so this is great for video teaching purposes. Normally what I would do is put in a bunch of orders for this player, and then I would go back and kind of comb through and look for another one, like this Marquez dude. Braylon Marquez, he's a little bit over 100 stub difference. So now I would go in and put in a bunch of orders. And here's another thing you can do. There's a pretty big gap between the 222, which is the highest offer right now, and then the next one at 206. I might find a middle ground here and just go like maybe 211. I'm going to have to wait for that 222 one to sell, but we're saving ourselves 11 stubs. And I cannot stress this enough. I know that doesn't sound like a ton, but at the end of the day, with the frequency that these cards sell, it all adds up. So I'm going to find a middle space there. You'll get a feel for it as you do it more often. And I'm going to do this, 4 or 5 times with this player. And I would go through the entire team and look for cards that kind of fit that, that need that I'm looking for with the 100 stub difference. I'd usually walk away, play a couple conquest games, do whatever, and then I'd come back and I'd have a bunch of cards that were sold to me, and then I would go through and sell them. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of a different process on how I sell them, but basically we'd go back into the Edwin Rios, and remember, we paid 186 stubs for this card. Now we're going to undercut the highest offer, which is 328 stubs for this card. So when we sell ours, we'll go like 325, maybe 324, 323, somewhere like that. So if we sold this for 324, after tax, we'd get 292 back. Remember, we paid 186 for it. So if my math is correct, I think we would make about 106 stubs per flip, but that's why we're doing it 4 or 5 and all the way up to 10 times. We flip this card 10 times, there's 1,000 stubs. It adds up quickly as well. And I would just go team by team doing this. Now, when I'm ready to sell cards, because I'm going to have an abundance of one specific team or one specific division, so multiple teams there, the easier way, in my opinion, to sell the cards is going back over to your collection. We're going to go to my inventory and then my MLB players, and I would R1 or right bumper all the way over to the team that we were flipping. And so in this case, it was the Cubs, and we don't really have a large amount of cards that we can go in and sell because we only tried to purchase 2 different players. But basically, I would comb through and look through all of the cards from the Cubs that are in my binder, and we would sell all the duplicates. Now, I'm going to actually back out, and this isn't the smartest way to do it or the time-saving way to do it, but I noticed that another Edwin Rios, I believe, sold to me. So basically, I would go down here, and I'd be looking for my duplicates, and here is the Braylon Marquez dude who we purchased, and we got 2 of him, and we would just go in and sell him now. And we bought his for, I think, we did buy him for 211, so now we can sell these for like 318 maybe. And if we have multiple of them, which we should eventually here, we would just continue to list out these offers for 318. Now, somebody just beat me to the punch again and went 315. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm still going to list for 318. Now, you can sell all of the ones that you purchase. What I've been doing early on is keeping 1 card for myself. So this is a very slow method, a slow way to go through and try to complete team collections. It definitely depends on the number of cards you flip for a specific person, but I could always look at it as if, I flipped this card 7 times and I made 700 stubs off of it. One of these cards that I end up keeping cost me about 200 stubs. We're essentially getting it for free because we're making profit by flipping him, and keeping 1 for ourselves is adding to our collection to eventually get this team collection done for the Cubs. And you don't really notice a dip in your stub count because as you're flipping and making stubs, you're adding these cards into your inventory. So if I kind of cycle through some of the teams that I've been working on very early on, it's mostly been like AL East. You're going to see that I have a bunch of Yankees on the team here, and I've yet to open up a ton of packs. Like, you've seen every pack on my No Money Spent videos that I've opened, but look at all of the Yankees I have. And I specifically attacked the Cardinals because it's my favorite team, and eventually I want to get their collection done. But I've done all the way up to the golds, and every single one of these cards I've earned from flipping, basically, and I flipped multiple cards of all of these players. And if you don't believe me, well, guess what? We're going to go ahead and show you our completed offers here. If I can remember how to get to them from this screen, we got to go view market, and then we go to completed offers. Look at the upper part of my screen here. I have 122 completed offers pages. So you guys let me know in the comment section how many pages you have at this moment, and that will tell you, are you flipping a lot of cards? Are you not really doing it? And you can page through and literally see your history for the entire year. So as the year goes on, these page numbers will get into the thousands if you're flipping cards like a madman like I am. And you can see a lot of repetitive names on here, a lot of the same names that I bought and then sold, and the time frames that they were in there. As the year goes on, you'll probably feel the need to not need to do this anymore. So like, it's something that I usually do early on, and then once we get a nice little base for our squad, and we got a good stub count, and we got a lot of the collections done. These are players that will last us a lot longer or throughout the duration of the season. Now, the way that they're doing seasons is a little bit different this year, so it could be different. I don't know how it's all going to play out in the long run here, but my point is this is the best way to get your team off to a really good start is flipping cards, and me personally, I like these lower overall items because they sell a lot more frequently. So go through, pick a couple teams at a time for yourself, buy a bunch of cards, play some Conquest, play some online, play whatever you got to play, grind out moments and missions, things like that, and then when you found that a bunch of those cards have sold to you, you can go back through and sell them. Now, if you need some help finding the perfect cards to buy, there is a great website that you can all use. It's ShowZone.gg or ShowZone.io. I think both will work there. And they have a pro membership or a membership that you can purchase that avoids ads and also gives you updated information. You can do that, or you can use the free version, but here is what it looks like. And I do have the pro version of this website, so it might look a little bit different for you when you're logged in. But if you click market and go to flipping, they actually have built-in tools with this website, and mine is going to refresh every 1 minute because I pay for the pro membership. It's like $45 for the entire year. If you're on one of the free or basic ones, it's going to update every 5 minutes, which still isn't terrible. But basically what I like to do is I'll go to the filters here and I'll go item type player, and you can flip equipments, perks, sponsorships, all of that, but I'm going to specifically go player, and then I'll scroll down here and I'll just randomly pick a team. So like today I've been working on the AL East. Let's go to the Marlins here. Once you select a team, you have to click away from it and then scroll down. But if I go to apply filters, this is going to give me all of the Marlins in the game, okay? And it's going to have all of these sortable columns, the buy now, the sell now, and this all updates 1 minute. They have a profit kind of percentage, how much you can profit off of the current rates. I like to click this 2 times, and that's going to give me the most profitable flipped card in this entire team. So the Marlins, it's this Nick Enright guy. You can right now buy him on average at about 7 stubs and sell him at 73 stubs, and that's going to give you a 59 profit. But if you look sales per minute, this gives you a good idea of how fast these cards sell. You can also sort by sales per minute here, and you'll see this Nick Fortes guy. He sells a lot more frequently, but the profit's not really there. They have a profit per minute section that you can sort by. So you can use all of these things to kind of figure out what cards work best for you. And it's all going to be kind of preference as far as it goes. What I tend to do here, and if you want to follow my directions, you can, is I'll sort by profit, and then I'll look for cards that sell over 100 stubs. So like we're not really finding many until we get down to this dude, Jacob Amaya, and we can buy him right around like 25 to 28 stubs and sell him for a little bit over 100. So we're going to make some good profit there. And I just always seem to find that it's bronze cards that have that kind of most frequent option there for me to get right under the low hundreds and then sell for over 100 or more. And you can find a little sweet spot here like Jacob Amaya, John Birdie, Jorge Soler. They all are kind of like in that 20 to 30 range and then over 100. And there's also a lot of cards that you'll find. I think it was the Mets maybe. I can't remember what team it was off the top of my head, but you'll find a lot of cards that sell for like 200 stubs, or you can buy them for about 200 stubs and then go in and sell them for like $450. Those are pretty good profit margins as well. But this is really a great resource whether you have the pro edition or you have the the standard edition. It's just as far as how frequent it updates, but this will really give you a good idea of the best cards to flip. Or if you're away from your console, you're at work, at school, you can always go to their website and check it there. And there is a companion app that hasn't updated on iPhones just yet, but there's a companion app, and MLB The Show's website or other places that you can buy and sell cards without being home. So once that app updates, we'll drop a separate video. But that's pretty much what I do to flip cards, and the #1 source to make stubs throughout the year, especially this early on, to build your Diamond Dynasty squad. Hope the video was helpful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.